In today's video, we want to show you 3 ways to make one of our favorite condiments, pickled onions. Pickled onions are our go-to accompaniment to add freshness and crunch to any Indian meal. They're quick and really easy to prepare, which is why you'll see them featured in many of our videos. The pickling process helps take away the raw, sharp edge off of the onions, resulting in sweet, tangy, and crunchy onions that pair perfectly with spice-heavy North Indian dishes. We're going to show you how to pickle onions in 3 different ways today. And for that, of course, we're going to need some onions. For this process, we recommend using onions that have a high sugar and relatively low sulfur content. So we're using red onions, pink shallots, and sweet white onions today. Any sweet onion variety would work well here. But you don't want to do this with yellow onions since they're a little too pungent to eat raw. Peel the onions and then slice them in around half-centimeter slices. As you can see, we're slicing the onions Indian style, which is usually pole to pole against the natural grain of the onion. Now add your onion slices to a bowl and separate the slivers as best as you can. In this first variant, we're going to be pickling the onions with fresh lemon juice. The purpose of this process is not to can or preserve these onions, but to elevate these raw onions into a crunchy, sweet, and refreshing condiment that can elevate our main meal. To do that, we're going to use fresh lemon juice. So we're going to half and juice our lemon. This gave us around 30 ml of lemon juice, which is around 2 tablespoons. Pour the lemon juice over the sliced onions. We're also going to be adding a teaspoon of sugar as well as 1/4 of a teaspoon of red chili powder. If you're not a fan of the heat, you can of course skip the chili powder or replace it with sweet paprika instead. Now mix everything together till it's well combined and let it sit for around 10 minutes for the citrus to do its magic before you eat it. Next, we've got our sweet white onion here. Since these can be quite huge, we're using half an onion today. We're going to follow a similar process, so half the onion and then cut it in slices, this time for a change, against the grain of the onion. If you've been enjoying this video, give it a like and let us know in the comments if you've ever pickled onions before or what your favorite kind of pickles are. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Add the onion slices to a bowl and separate the slivers as best you can. For some freshness, here we decided to add some thinly sliced mint leaves. You can of course also add coriander instead, or thinly sliced green chilies, or any other herb that you like. So stack them all up and then we're going to julienne them into fine slices. Add your mint slices to the bowl and then top off with a pinch of salt or 2, a teaspoon of sugar, and this time around we're going to be pickling with vinegar instead. So we're using 30 milliliters of table vinegar, that's 5% vinegar. Pour that in over your onions and then mix together thoroughly so that everything is well combined. And then just as before, set that aside for around 10 minutes and let the vinegar do its magic before you serve the onions. And last but not least, our little pink shallots. Also called small onions in India, these are probably the most popular kind of pickles that you'd see in North Indian restaurants. They're a must-have alongside tandoori dishes like paneer tikka, kebabs, as well as biryani. Peel the shallots and leave them whole. Since we'll be pickling these shallots whole, they take a little longer to be ready as compared to the instant pickles we just made, but they are well worth the wait. We're using a jar to prepare these, and in the jar, we're adding 45 milliliters of white table vinegar. Then go in 2 teaspoons of sugar. Shake well till the sugar is completely dissolved, and then add the shallots to the jar. If you'd like to add some additional aromatics or flavors to your pickled shallots, you could choose to add them in at this point. For example, a slit green chili, a couple of slices of ginger, or some people also like to add a piece of beetroot for a bright pink color. We're going to keep things simple this time around. Now top the jar with some water to make sure that all the shallots are submerged in the pickling liquid. Close the jar and give it a good shake. And that's it. Your pickle is prepped. Now all you've got to do is wait. The pickled shallots need to rest overnight in the fridge to absorb all the pickling juices and actually become tart and sour. You can of course eat them right away, but they won't really be pickled at this point. So we definitely recommend the wait. That's it, folks. So that's our take on 3 different types of pickled onions. We really hope that you enjoyed this little onion overdose that we had for you today, and hopefully we've inspired you to serve some pickled onions along with your next Indian meal. If you're looking for inspiration on what to serve with these pickled onions, you can definitely check out our videos on Dal Makhani, Shahi Paneer and Rajma Chawal, which go wonderfully with these pickled onions.